What's up, y'all? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. What's up? What's up? Me, I never need a reason. Oh. Good evening. Good evening. What's up, y'all? So you know I gotta keep it on go. Welcome to Wound Care Wednesday. Good evening, y'all. Just gonna give it a little bit longer. Hey y'all, what's up? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We're about to start in a minute. You should put that. I did that. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, y'all. Thank you guys for being here with me tonight. Okay, my name is Shelby. I am the Healing Empress. All right. For those of you who don't know me, I started this. I started this channel like last year. Okay, and it was just laid on my heart to tell my story. All right, to help some other people, encourage some other people, inspire somebody else out there. Okay, God laid it on my heart for me to start sharing my story so I can help other people. Okay. And so that's why I started this channel. And before we get started, y'all, okay, I just have to let y'all know that this is a no judge zone. Okay. A no judge zone, baby. This ain't jury duty. So if you here to judge somebody, you need to leave. All right. Because this ain't your channel. All right. I'm going to stumble over my words. I might stutter. I might, in the middle of my sentence, forget what the hell I was saying, lose my train of thought. Okay. Don't come here to judge me. All right. Because I ain't going to be judging you. So now that's out the way. Okay. Hold on. All right. All right. So tonight, tonight I wanted to talk a little about, just some challenges that I have ran into, like on this healing journey, with my journey, healing self, and also just getting connected back to God and, my spirituality. So I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about that, okay? So earlier today, well, actually, no, let's start over. So yesterday, y'all, I'm sorry, let me turn this music down just a little bit because it's distracting me. But yesterday, y'all, I woke up and I was feeling so frustrated. And I'm not even sure why. I think it's because I had I did have a kind of crazy dream. So maybe that's why I woke up feeling frustrated. But I was feeling frustrated just about, I guess, about my whole journey. And it's not the first time I felt that, but it was kind of like out of nowhere for me that I felt frustrated. And I think a lot of times people don't talk about the sides of healing that, where you're upset, you're frustrated, you feeling like God not listening to you or not hearing you, or you just feeling lost, feeling upset. And I feel like a lot of times, on the healing journey, people might try to promote the fact that, okay, it's all positive vibes, and, being mad and upset is low vibrational and all that stuff. Okay, you know what? It is a lower vibration, but we are human. Okay, so we are going to feel those things. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel like you want to cuss somebody out. Okay, it's okay to feel all those things. But the most important thing is that you don't allow yourself to just stay there and just fester in that feeling, okay? But like I was saying, let me get back. So I was feeling frustrated yesterday, and today when I was, thinking, meditating, I was thinking about how, so on this journey, I've had to learn that just because, say, I get rejected, or somebody doesn't want to be with me, or maybe somebody don't want to be my friend, or any type of rejection, or maybe I don't get that job, whatever. I've had to learn that my worth is not attached to those external things. So if I don't get the job, if I don't get the man, if I don't get that friend, if I don't get whatever it is, it's because I'm sorry, look, see, I lost my train of thought right there. But I'm sorry, y'all. I literally just lost my train of thought. And see, this is why I started the live off the way I did. Don't be judging me, okay? Because I'll be losing my train of thought in the middle of me talking sometimes. Oh, child. Okay. Okay, let me bring it back. I was talking about frustrating. I was frustrated yesterday. And okay, we're just gonna move on because we're gonna talk about that still, but I'm sorry, y'all. I really just lost my train of thought. But just talking about being frustrated with, okay, yeah, that's all I was talking about. Sorry, y'all. About how, like, I used to associate not getting certain things with my worth, and that would in turn affect my self-esteem. And that, those are some things that God has helped me heal through. So when I was thinking about that, right, and thinking about how I had to remember that just because somebody doesn't want to be with me or be my friend or give me that job, it doesn't mean that I'm no longer valuable or no longer worthy or no longer deserving. That doesn't mean that. So when I was thinking about, like, this vision that God has given me, and just laying it on my heart to help other people, and just putting myself out there and stuff like that, when you think about, okay, well, engagement and likes and comments and shares, and sometimes you may not be getting the engagement that you really want or that you were expecting, but that is not to say that what you're doing, the content you're sharing, what you're saying, whatever it is, that does not mean that it's not valuable or that you're not worthy or you're doing the wrong thing. It's not attached to it. And I think for me, I was becoming too attached to the outcome. I was becoming too attached to the outcome instead of focusing on the real reason why God laid this on my heart for me to do, is to be of service to others, to help other people. And that's where my passion is. There's nothing that I've, like, even with nursing, I never started nursing for the money. Even when I was doing travel nursing, the most money I ever made in my life, I never did it for the money. So that's why when I was, I never did it for the money, but it felt like I was, living in my just, that's what I was supposed to be doing. That's what I felt like at that time. And so I'm like, shit, I got the best of both worlds. Like, I'm doing what I have a passion for, nursing and traveling, and then I'm getting paid for it, great money. But once I lost that passion for the actual business aspect of nursing, it's like I lost that passion for it, and the money was not enough of a motivating factor for me to stay in a profession where I don't feel valued, or in that setting, in that specific setting, like in a hospital setting where, I may not have felt valued, and the money for me was just not enough to keep me going back. It's very tempting. It's very tempting when it's something that I've talked about this last week, I believe, but it's like when God has placed something on your heart, and it doesn't look the way that you expected it to or that you thought it was going to look, it can be discouraging. It can be frustrating because it's like, okay, God, you having me transition from this career that I've known all my life, that I've been great at. I'm thinking this is my passion, and now you're trying to lead me somewhere else, but I'm not seeing it physically what I was expecting. So it can be frustrating sometimes. But then it's so crazy how God works, because I feel that he gives me confirmation all the time. Like anytime where I'm feeling like, you know what, forget this. I'm just about to say, forget all this. I'm just about to go back and settle for, doing what's really not in my heart to do. I get confirmations. And yesterday, my friend doesn't even know it. I don't know if she in here, but my friend Lisa, like, she was just giving me some encouraging words. Shout out, girl. Hey, if you watching. But she was just giving me some encouraging words, and she didn't even know that I needed the encouragement. Like, she's just that type of friend. But she didn't know that I woke up feeling frustrated. She asked me a question and I was answering her, and I told her about my frustrations and stuff. But things like that just, remind me of the reason why I even started all of this. And then even one of my cousins, Kyla, she, commented on one of my posts, and that was yesterday. And I just needed, it's like I need those encouraging words sometimes, because when you are trying to be obedient and you're surrendering to God, the path is unknown, and that shit can be scary sometimes, y'all. That shit can be scary sometimes, okay? So when things are new and unknown, and then, so you're scared and you're frustrated, and it's like, I don't know, it's just, sometimes it could just be overwhelming. And I think that part of the healing journey is not talked about that often, but it is very much a thing, because you can be, of course, positive all the time, but don't beat yourself up for feeling those human for feeling the human feelings of feeling frustrated, feeling impatient, feeling like, dang, God, like, yo, you told me to do this, and now it's like, okay, shoot, shit, like the time is ticking. The time is ticking. Like, what's going on, God? When you gonna show me something? When I'm gonna see the fruits of my labor? But you know what? The thing I had to realize, so going back, is that I was becoming too attached to the outcome. I was too attached to expectations, because even though I never started this channel as a way to monetize or anything, I didn't start it for that reason. So once I started getting the signs and confirmations that God was leading me towards another direction, it was like, okay, I'm thinking like everything is gonna happen, boom, boom, boom. But you see, that's not how God works. God will give you that vision, and then now that's where your faith, baby, your faith gotta just stay strong. Okay? Your faith gotta stay strong, because he will let you feel it. It's like you can see it, and it's like you can almost touch it, you can almost taste it, but you have to remain faithful to the vision and not to the outcome. Because when you attach yourself to the outcome and to the expectations, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You're setting yourself up to, it's like you basically, I mean, it's just a setup. It's a setup. At least in my eyes, in my mind, I feel like it was just a setup, because it becomes a blockage. Because now, instead of you really enjoying the creative projects, or really enjoying whatever idea God placed in your heart, it's like you're so focused on the outcome that you're not even really enjoying the journey. Okay. And so even though I was frustrated yesterday, and I mean, it didn't take me long to, snap back like, okay, girl, like, you just need to relax. But today I was really thinking about it. And that's what I compared it to. Like, just when, I mean, just like when I was talking about relationships and, knowing that you are still worthy, even though maybe that relationship didn't work out, it's the same thing with trying to be a service to other people. Just because people are not receptive or people are not engaging or responding in the way you view in your mind or you have in your mind or expect in your mind, attached to in your mind. And I lost my train of thought that quick. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Sometimes my mind, I don't know what my mind be doing, but it be like running and running and running, and then sometimes I just lose my train of thoughts. It's all right, y'all. It's all right, but I wanted to read something to y'all that I wrote. Okay. I wanted to read y'all something that I wrote today, actually, when I was, it just ties into the whole, knowing your worth thing and not feeling like just because you're not getting the engagement that means you're not worthy or not doing the right thing. Okay. 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 So I just realized, just like my worth is not determined by things outside of me, it applies to my content as well. Just because I'm not getting the engagement yet doesn't mean that what I'm saying isn't valuable. I don't need the external validation. I just need to focus on enjoying myself while I deliver the messages in whatever creative ways God guides me. Okay. And I think sometimes other people like me that are just, maybe just starting out, just putting yourself out there, just remember that it takes time and it has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with your value. So don't allow it to deter you and discourage you from pursuing your dreams, pursuing your goals, and going after that vision that God has placed on your heart. Okay. Um, where is it? Where is it? Okay. So this was something else I was writing today that I was thinking about. Okay. I just realized that the same patterns that were holding me captive in repeating cycles in relationships are the same things that's trying to sabotage me right now. Self-sabotage is a real thing, y'all. Trying to sabotage me and the mission God has for me. Just like I don't need external validation to know I am worthy of a relationship, I don't need external validation to know what I'm saying and doing holds value. I never started this for money. I started because God put it on my heart for me to start sharing my journey. I've been too attached to the outcome and the business aspect of things that I was almost losing focus on the most important part of this all, which is to shed light on the darkness. To be a guiding for others that may be lost like I once was. All right, y'all. Okay, I just got some requests, but if you are a real human trying to get on the live with me, I don't mind chatting with you, but drop a crown emoji in the comments so I know that you're a human and not a bot, okay? Because I be getting requests sometimes and they just be looking kind of sketchy. All right. So I was almost losing focus on the most important part of this all, which is to shed light on the darkness, to be a guiding light for others that may be lost like I once was. This is not about me. All of this is not about me. It's about helping the masses. It's about leading by example. I am worthy whether I get 1 like or 1,000. My words are valuable whether I get 20,000 views or none. My worth and my value are not determined by external things. I'm just realizing that that's what was causing my frustration. I was associating I was associating the engagements with my success, but I realized I've already won with the knowledge God has given me. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I realized I've already won with the knowledge that God has given me. It's just a matter of time before others are ready to receive that knowledge. And that goes back to divine timing and patience. Okay? So that was just something that I was, thinking about earlier, and that has been a challenge of mine recently, and that was causing some frustration yesterday. But quickly, I'm telling y'all, like I feel the feelings and I process it, and baby, like let's get the vibes back up, because festering in that negative energy, feeling frustrated and mad, it's a heavy feeling to feel those emotions, and they are necessary. They're a necessary part of this journey, because that's the only way, we can grow. We're going to go through all the different emotions and stuff. But baby, those feelings are heavy, and I did not want to stay there forever. So I don't never allow myself to, I try not to, let me not say never, but I try not to allow myself to just sit in unfavorable feelings for too long, because that should be heavy, and I'm trying to be light. I'm trying to be walking like a feather, okay? But let's see some other challenges that I have come across since surrendering to God, the divine, the universe, whatever you guys subscribe to, call it, okay? I will say the divine, I will say God, I will say universe. Mostly I say God, but since I started surrendering to him and following his lead, the other challenges I have done, well, I've talked to y'all about one before, which is, getting out of your comfort zone, which is, doing things like this, putting myself out there. So, that's a challenge. And sometimes when we are afraid of the unknown, getting out of your comfort zone can just seem like something that's so freaking scary and impossible for you to do. But once you conquer that fear and stop standing in your own way, baby, it gets better. Things will start getting better. Like, it'll get more comfortable as the time goes by. You might as well get comfortable with the unknown and get comfortable with being out of your comfort zone, because if there's something that God really needs you to do, he is not going to allow you to rest. He is not going to allow you to get the peace that you really want. You're not going to get no peace about it. You're not going to be able to, your spirit is not going to be settled. So you might as well just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, with getting pushed out of your comfort zone. Okay. And shoot, that was another thing. Another challenge, okay, is that I'm just looking at my journal, y'all. So another thing that was a challenge is just when God tells us to leave certain things behind that we are still trying to hold on to. And yo, that shit can be heartbreaking sometimes, because sometimes it's people that he wants us to let go of, people that we never saw being out of our lives, that we like, what, shoot, I'm elevating, I want you to elevate with me. And sometimes the people that are closest to us, sometimes the people who we think are in our corner, we don't know the conversations sometimes that they have about us when we're not around. But God God hears those conversations. God sees those things. So sometimes when God is trying to get you to let go of someone, even though it hurts, even though you love them so bad, you feel like you can't live without them. If God is telling you to let it go, baby, you have to let it go. Because if you keep trying to hold on, you're just going to block other blessings that God is trying to bring into your life. But you're holding on to things that He wants you to let go of. And I know that can be hard. It goes back to the unknown. Sometimes we don't want to let go of that person because we are afraid to start over, or we're afraid that, oh, well, I'm afraid that I don't want to be alone, or I just don't, for whatever reason you got that you don't want to let go of that thing. Okay, you got to let it go, because in the long run, it's going to cause you more issues. You're going to create blockages for yourself. You just keeping yourself small. You keeping yourself small because God trying to bless you, and you keep on trying to hold on to that shit. Let it go. Let it go. It's okay to start over. Yes, sometimes starting over sucks, but sometimes starting over is the best thing that will ever happen to you. Okay? Think about it. If that person that you love so much, and God keeps giving you all the signs to release that person, if you love that person so much, right, and you think that this is such the right thing for you, but there's something that's not aligned, right? Obviously there's something that's not aligned, because that's why you're struggling with whether or not to let them go. But you feel the pull. God is telling you, this is not for you anymore. So you feel that pull, but I'm sorry, y'all. I just lost my train of thought. That's like the third time. This has never happened this often. Okay. I be losing my train of thought, but not this often. But um when God is trying to let you know that it's time to let this person go, and just think about how much you love that person, right? And how much you felt in your heart that that person was the right person for you. Just imagine if God is telling you to let that person go, that means He has something even better planned for you. So, something to, I know it's going to hurt in the moment, it's temporary, but something that you can look forward to is knowing that if you let that thing go, you are making space, you are making room for the very thing that God really wants to bring into your life, that is going to be even better. That's enough to look forward to. Because just imagine all the love you was given to the wrong person, and those feelings when you felt like this person was it. Imagine when you let it go, just knowing that God is going to bless you with something greater, like a greater love. That's enough to look forward to. Okay? So I know it hurts sometimes to have to let things go because we love it so much. But anything that God has you to release, He's going to replace it with something better. And that's something to look forward to. Okay? And I'm not speaking of grieving the death of loved ones and stuff. I'm not talking about that and being replaceable. I'm speaking of people that are still here on this earth with us that we are not ready to let go of. Okay? Or even things, even jobs. Sometimes, you know that's another thing I had to realize, y'all, is how powerful our minds and our words are. Okay? So a lot of times people be thinking like, okay, You know, how many times do you complain about hating your job? Oh, I hate this job. I got to go to this job. I can't stand this job. I can't. But when they fire your ass, now you're like, oh shit, they fired me. Well, you've been saying that you hate this job, that you can't stand going here, you can't stand the people, you can't stand the boss, you can't stand this, you can't stand that. Well, God did you a favor, right? You got fired. So that's why we have to be mindful with what we say out of our mouth, the things that we think, because we be manifesting stuff without even realizing. You keep complaining about that job, well, God got you fired. You or maybe you got in some big trouble at the job, but you was always complaining about it. So that's why you have to try to change your mindset. Or if you really just, if that job makes you feel that crappy, baby, you got to try to find something else. You got to try to get out of that, because that's just making you miserable. It's gonna make it's. I mean, yes, it's for a few hours or for however long you work, but it still has a direct impact on your life overall. So that's something you got to be mindful about, what you say, how you speak over your life, how you speak over the things in your life, because our words are so powerful, y'all. We be manifesting and not even realizing. So if you ain't trying to get fired, you ain't trying to lose your job, or even just thinking like, you know, just thinking about focusing on the things that you don't like about your life or that you hate about your life. If you always focusing on, I hate this, I hate that, I can't stand this, I can't stand that, I can't wait to do this, I can't wait to do that. But relax, live in the moment. Relax, live in the moment, and stop focusing on all the things that you don't have and the things that you don't like. Try to change your mindset. Oh, I get to go to this job. I get to wake up early. I thank God I have this job. Thank God I'm able to pay my bills. Thank God I got food on my table. Like thank God. Just show gratitude, okay? And be mindful. Be mindful. All right. Okay. Another challenge that I have faced, just surrendering to God and following his lead, is sometimes it can feel lonely and isolating. Okay. So that's why I wanted to create this community where people can feel safe and comfortable to be their authentic selves, to, you know, have a space where we not judging you, I'm not judging you, and just be comfortable to vent, to ask for advice, for me to help others get through things that I have healed from, that God has helped me heal from. Feelings of self-worth, okay? Low self-esteem, feeling undeserving, body image issues, like so many things, being in toxic relationships, accepting bullshit, being a toxic person. I have been a toxic been I have exhibited toxic characteristics in situations. I have been there. I have been the villain in other people's stories. But God has helped me see so many different things about myself, and just help me back to myself. Help me to actually find who I was. And sometimes that can feel isolating and lonely, because a lot of people will talk about healing and talk about wanting to change, but then there's no action behind it. And it can feel like you don't have anybody to talk to. And that can make you feel lonely. Okay. So let's see. There's also some other challenges I faced, y'all. It's just the feelings of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Um, which, it just goes back to me not ever seeing myself in this light, putting myself out here, for my voice to be heard on a platform or anything like that. It was never on my mind to do anything like this. And sometimes it can feel like out of place. It can feel like I'm out of place. I can feel discouraged. But like I said before, God always gives me the confirmation. And when I get supporters and people who genuinely are rooting for me, genuinely giving me compliments and encouraging me and letting me know that I've been an inspiration to them, that that's invaluable. That's invaluable. And that just helps me remember, like, this is what you're doing it for. This is why God called you to do this. Okay. So forget that imposter syndrome, y'all. But that's a challenge. When God starts showing you your real self, when you really start getting to know who you are, it can feel weird because you don't even know that this version of yourself, that version of yourself yet. Or you just are coming into that version of yourself. So it can feel weird and like, well, is this really me? Yes, it's you. It's you going back to your authentic self, who you really are, being unapologetically you. Okay. Let's see. And okay. So something else, through this journey. So naturally, a lot of self-reflection is done, or at least should be done. And I've done a lot of self-reflection. And on this journey, you have to face the ugly parts of yourself. And that can be a challenge sometimes, because a lot of times we can look at ourselves like, oh shit, I don't ever do nothing wrong. Like ain't nothing wrong with me, and this and that and blah blah. But no, baby, you can't think like that. You have to be self-aware, and you got to do self-reflection. Okay, it's essential to what it's essential to life. Okay, if you want to grow in life, you got to do some self-reflection. And I remember my early years in college, and I was taking this, I think it was like a public speaking class or something, y'all. And at that time, it was before I turned 21. I was probably, maybe I was like 19. I don't know. I was young. But y'all, we had to give this speech, and I remember my speech was about like genetically modified food or something. I forgot what was the reason why I chose that subject. But I'm gonna tell y'all, it started off good, but I ain't gonna lie, that shit was kind of boring because I wasn't passionate about the subject, and the speech was boring, y'all. So we had to do self evaluations. Well, we had to evaluate our classmates or whatever. And one of my classmates, we were friends, acquaintances, whatever you want to call it, right? She did my evaluation, and I mean, she was honest, and I got so upset, and I kind of stopped talking. We kind of stopped talking after that. I know y'all is petty. Don't judge me. I was young, okay? I was young, but I'm just telling y'all that story because it used to be so hard for me to accept constructive criticism. And it was because growing up, I was criticized so much about different things, criticized about my hair, about my name, about like my ethnicity, like just, or where I live, where I'm from, like so many different things I used to be criticized about. And my weight, child, everything. I'm just thinking about stuff. But anyway, just criticized about so many things. So it was hard for me to accept constructive criticism because I was just projecting those feelings of being criticized when I was younger, or just criticized in general. I was projecting those feelings, and she ain't deserve that, y'all. That was so petty of me. I kind of stopped talking to her. Damn, I'm sorry. But for real, like I did not notice that until I got older. And my dad and my mom used to tell me all the time, like, I don't take constructive criticism well. And, you know, that's not something I'm proud of. Like, nobody wants to hear that. And you don't want to, when somebody's trying to tell you something, granted, there are some people that will tell you stuff and they telling you in a way that's not constructive. It's in a way to be destructive and to break you down. Okay, but real constructive criticism is made to help you improve yourself and to get better. So I was actually blocking blessings sometimes, probably, I'm sure, just by not being more receptive to constructive criticism, because I couldn't get, over that childhood trauma of constantly being criticized about every little thing about me. Okay? So now I've had to learn that constructive criticism is a good thing. Okay? It's a good thing because it helps you grow. It helps you determine what areas you may need to improve in, or what you need to switch up on. Okay, from people who are that genuinely have your best interest at heart. Okay, that's the constructive criticism. Wow. All right. But yeah, y'all, that girl ain't deserve that. I was petty. I can't lie. I was petty. But it is what it is. We live and we learn, right? We live and we learn. So yeah, those are a few challenges. Okay, those are a few challenges that I've had on this journey of surrendering to God, the divine universe. Okay, those are some of the challenges that I face, and some of the things that I still struggle with here and there, that I'm a work in progress, baby. I'm a work in progress. Things have improved, but nobody's perfect. There's gonna always be work to be done. Okay, there's always gonna be work to be done, and I'm just grateful to be where I am today. Like, I'm so grateful to be here. Um, because it is hard sometimes. It is hard sometimes, and it does get frustrating. But I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, okay? So I thank you guys for being here with me. I am looking forward to growing this community. I'm looking forward to hopefully in the future, chatting with some of y'all, getting to know some of you guys. All right. Check out my Amazon storefront. The link is in my bio. And also subscribe to my YouTube. I will post the live on my YouTube. Okay, my YouTube handle is Healing Empress 89. Okay, that's actually for all my social media. But what else? What else? I think that's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all popping in, okay, being here with me this evening. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. And I hope to see y'all next week right here, same time, 7:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? For Wound Care Wednesday. Y'all be easy. Have a great day.